I listen up and lock the fuck in, man, because we got to talk about a very, very, very important topic for all you men out there that are using the practice of semen retention and celibacy as a tool to propel your consciousness on this spiritual path. Because we got to talk about the difference between dogmatic celibacy and dharmic celibacy. Yes, sir, you heard me right. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. We got to talk about the difference between dogmatic celibacy and dharmic celibacy. And you might be wondering, okay, man, what the fuck does that even mean, bro? I've never even heard of these words. Dogmatic celibacy, dharmic celibacy. I thought celibacy was just not touching your wiener. It was just not having sex, was just not releasing your seed. Now you're telling me there's differences? Well, relax. Relax, my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath. Come on, do it with me. Get yourself grounded, because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey that we call life is that most spiritual teachings were originally, quote unquote, dharmic. They were natural. They were originated from the Eastern traditions. They come from a lineage, a philosophy that is all about helping mankind, helping humanity realize their divine nature, their divine essence, their higher source. Most of these Eastern teachings have been distorted, have been stolen by the West, and essentially warped into something that is completely different than the original teachings, the original doctrines. That's what dogma is. Dogma is all about pressuring mankind through fear, through lack, through all the lower emotions to follow a certain spiritual path. And I'm doing the quotations, the air quotations, because that's not a spiritual path. That's a facade. That's fugazi. That's baloney. That's bullshit. Most dogmas are what you see in the mainstream world today as religions. You see, religion promotes celibacy. Religion promotes semen retention, but in a totally different manner. So get that in your motherfucking mind. Let that sink into your psyche. They promote it in ways for you to be against your nature. They infest your mind with the programmings that you are a sinner, you are lacking, you need a savior. Everything that you do, all your biological cravings are from Satan, the fucking devil. Just because you're horny, that's lust, and you must eradicate lust, this and that. No, man, it's called biology. It's called biology. The dharmic traditions, the yogis, the sages, the true saints understood yogic anatomy, understood that yes, mankind, the consciousness of mankind is confined to this material body for the time being, but that does not mean that he has to be a slave to it. Let me say that again. They understood that mankind, the consciousness of man, is confined to this material form of the brain and body for the time being, but that does not mean that he has to be a slave to it. The whole journey of celibacy, of the spiritual path of self-mastery, is to control, consciously control your compulsive nature, your animalistic mind, your carnal states of consciousness. You see the difference? One is saying things that you are not enough, you are a sinner, you need savior, you need celibacy because you're just a bad person. And the other is saying, hey man, for you to truly unlock your power, your potential, you can't be a slave to your senses. You got to take control over that bitch. You got to be the boss now. You got to be the captain now. Shout out to Captain Phillips. If you've ever watched that movie, you know the scene I'm talking about, where the pirates, the Somalian pirates, get on the ship. Motherfucker tells the captain, hey man, look at me. I'm the captain now. That's what your consciousness is doing. Not to the ship, but to yourself. Not to a boat, but to your brain and body. You picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? That's the difference between dogmatic celibacy and dharmic celibacy. The reason behind it is different. Yes, the act might be the same. I don't even think it's the same. One is repressing your sexual energy, repressing your natural urges, and the other is sublimating it. What's the difference? You see, let's say we put a big beaker of water right in front of us and we put a hose in it. And we turn on the faucet so the water runs through the hose into that beaker. It keeps filling up, keeps filling up, keeps filling up. Let's say the beaker is actually a water balloon. Eventually, that water balloon is gonna pop. Pop like some goddamn fireworks on 4th of July. Pop, pop, pop. It's eventually gonna pop. But let's say we take that same beaker of water, it's glass now, and we heat it up at the same time that water is being poured in. So as water is being poured in from that hose, it's being heated up to steam. And it's rising upwards. The vase is never gonna pop because the water is being transmuted into another form, a vaporous gas. That's the same analogy between sexual repression, just holding all your semen in, and being celibate because God is watching and sex is bad unless you're in a marriage, versus taking all that energy instead of depleting yourself of it by watching porn, by hooking up with girls, because you know that this source of energy is one of the most potent forces of prana that you have access to as a human being. I mean, it's the only reason that you're here. It's the only reason that I'm here. This is a cosmic source of creative energy. And the more that you deplete it, the more that you're spiritually castrating yourself. Because that same energy that is used to reproduce another human being could be redirected to reactivate your higher faculties, your states of spiritual regeneration, which gets you into direct realization of your true nature beyond the brain and body. That's what dharmic celibacy is about. You see the difference? Versus dogmatic celibacy. Oh man, you're a sinner, sex is bad, evil, this and that, unless you have a piece of paper. If you have the piece of paper, you can go ham. Don't make sense. But most people you see, when it comes to religious backgrounds, a lot of people, they get on YouTube, different platforms, talk about semen retention celibacy, and they tie it into the dogmatic essence. They don't ever get to the true roots of where this practice originated from. It's not from the Bible. It's not from the Quran. It's not from this. It's from the ancient teachings of the Aryans, the dharmic traditions, which are all focused about how mankind can transcend his consciousness back to the supreme and sublime states. They don't say that you're a sinner. They don't say that you're imperfect. They don't say all these things. They don't say you need a savior. They just say, hey man, you are God experiencing this human form. And you just forgot that shit. Christ is not a person. It's a state of consciousness that the man, the sage, Jesus awakened to. Buddha is not a person. It's a state of consciousness that Siddhartha Gautama accessed. This is the dharmic path that leads you to direct realization of the self. Semen retention and celibacy, that's a tool along the journey of self-mastery to that point. It's not the end-all be-all like some people might sell you the dream of, that you're gonna fix all your problems by just not touching your wiener, by just not stroking your schlong, by just not beating your meat. That's not the case, bro. That's not the case. You're finally just stopping the leakage of this life force, but now you must learn how to leverage your libido to your advantage. Because if you don't learn how to leverage it, it eventually is going to be transferred into lust and cause you to release and feel more depleted and feel more spiritually castrated. You see, your semen, your sexual energy isn't just testosterone, this and that you might see on the physiological level. It is, funny enough, on the opposite realm, it is Shakti. It is divine feminine energy. It is creative energy. It is chaotic energy. When you deplete that, why do you feel so monotonous, so mundane, so boring, so lifeless? It's because you are giving away and depleting the divine feminine energy within you. Your job as a spiritual aspirant is to bring that divine feminine energy all the way upwards to the point where it can be reordered, restructured by the divine masculine mind. Shiva's up here, Shakti's down here. That's the process of a Kundalini awakening. Semen retention and celibacy is a propellant along that journey for your consciousness to evolve rather than something that you repress. You can't repress Shakti because it's chaotic energy. It's eventually gonna break shit. That's why I made a video previously talking about why NoFap is making you motherfuckers neurotic. If you're just trying to do No Nut November, NoFap November, guess what? You become hyper obsessed about how many days you haven't touched your fucking genitals. That's some loser shit. That's some pathetic shit. Let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest. Your whole life is now dedicated to how many days you haven't watched porn. And I'm not trying to downplay anyone that is suffering from things like porn addiction, but the reason why you're addicted to shit like that is because you are not learning how to use this energy for a higher purpose. Pornography is not the problem. It's your priorities. And your priorities are predetermined by your programming. If you're programmed to believe that you're a sinner, if you're programmed with this dogmatic view of celibacy, you're gonna prioritize running away from sin, running away from porn, the boogeyman, running away from sexuality. Versus when you're on the path of being programmed by dharmic celibacy, you prioritize your higher purpose. You're running towards something. You're running towards fulfillment rather than running away from fear. You see, fear is a fuel that cannot be sustainable for a long-term road trip. The road trip and the road to self-realization. If that's where you really want, you can't use fear as a fuel. You're eventually gonna crash out. Fulfillment must be that fuel. And when you start to actually pinpoint the reason of why you're on this path, and you start to go beyond the dogmatic views of it, the dogmatic views of what even people say here on YouTube about semen retention. Oh man, it's gonna get you female attraction, this and that. Once you go beyond that, once you go beyond the surface level and you start getting into the spiritual texts, the spiritual wisdom, the dharmic teachings, you start to realize that this journey is just all about cultivating the energy, the life force, for you to sublimate it into a spiritual force, turning your sexual force into a spiritual force. And that process is done through sublimation, just like taking that liquid water and heating it up under the beaker turns that water into a vaporous gas. That's what you're doing. This is internal alchemy. This isn't sexual abstinence, because God is watching you all the time. Get that shit out of your mind if you truly want to succeed on this path. If you truly want to see the benefits of this path. The real benefits. I'm not talking about your skin glowing, this and that. That's cool. That's surface level. You fix your diet, you fix your sleep, you fix your sunlight. You're going to get that regardless. I'm talking about the spiritual progress that you make. Celibacy is the most powerful supplement for a true spiritual aspirant. If you learn how to use it properly. It's a tool. But most people look at the tool in a totally different manner than what it's meant to be. Because again, what is promoted to you by the matrix, by the Maya, by the illusion, yes, you're promoted on one end, the extreme pole, to just be a degenerate, be hedonistic, but also on the other pole, what does the mainstream tell you to do? Be completely a meek monk. Just be meek, be a cuck, be a slave to, your own systemized views of religion. You're a sinner. You're just bad. You're never going to be good enough. That's the true two extreme poles. The mystic, the man who's on the path of the mystic journey, goes in between that. He's on the middle path. He don't give a fuck about these extremes. He's not trying to be a hedonistic slave, and he's not trying to be a little cuck for his little church. He's trying to be a spiritual savage. He's trying to let his nuts drag across the floor, because he got the balls, he got the courage to follow his true path in life. He's no longer being spiritually castrated by one side, and he's not being spiritually castrated by the other side. Dogma and degeneracy are two sides to the same coin, in my opinion. Dogma and degeneracy are the same thing, two sides to the same coin. One is pulling you towards the extreme pull on this end, the other is pulling you to the extreme pull on that end. You're trying to break free from that pull regardless. So you must take the middle path of the mystic. This is what this whole journey of self-mastery is all about. Learning to use your own brain and body as tools to bungee jump your consciousness back to the states of divine bliss. That's what dharmic celibacy is. Dogmatic celibacy makes you think that everything else is out to get you. Pornography is evil, man. They're all out to get you. No, man, it's just a distraction. None of these things have power over you unless you give them power. The more that you think that pornography is evil, the more that you're giving power to it. The more that you think hookup culture is evil, the more that you give power to it. The more that you think sexual cravings is bad, the more power you give it. The more you think that lust is bad, the more power you give it. And the more you become a slave to it, subconsciously. Because that's all you're thinking about. If you're really on this practice of semen retention and celibacy, you shouldn't even thinking about it, to be honest. You should be thinking about your higher goals, your higher pursuits, your higher mission, your destiny, aka your dharma. Dharma means your destiny, what is natural to you, what you were really brought here to do, who you are beyond the brain and body, and what it is that will truly satisfy your soul aside from just trying to stimulate the senses. Because the world around you is designed to keep you in this systemized, cyclical pattern of chasing survival, sex, and status, the lower three planes of consciousness associated with the lower three chakras. None of those things are evil, survival, sex, and status, but the reasoning behind why a man on this path must go beyond that is because you have the potential to be something bigger and better than simply just an animal. An animal only focuses on survival, sex, and status, which is a part of your nature, but there's something beyond that. You can't pedestalize that. You can't prioritize that. And prioritizing it doesn't mean just chasing after it. Prioritizing it also means running away from it. There's something called attachment and aversion in life. Both of the things are the anchors that keeps your consciousness rooted in the lower planes. If you're averse, which means you are repulsed by certain things, that means you're still attached to it. And if you're attached to it, obviously it means you're attached to it. That means you're always running towards it. Running away from sexuality is the same thing as running towards it. The mystic, again, has realized that there's something beyond those lower three planes of consciousness and no longer has a need or care to chase after those things. He's walking towards his mission. He's walking towards his destiny. He's walking towards his dharma. That's why he doesn't feel like he's battling against lust. He's at war against his flesh. Every time that I see someone talk about that when it comes to semen retention, I'm like, dude, you're a fucking loser, man. You are an absolute fucking loser, to be honest. And if that pisses you off, man, click off this video because I'm talking to you. But if you're mature enough to let this stuff rock your psyche, listen up to what I got to say. The reason why that shit is loser material is because you are trying to fight a battle you're never gonna win. Unless you cut off your dick and balls, my boy, you are not going to win the battle against lust. The whole journey was not battling against lust, battling against your own biology. It's by controlling your own biology, leveraging your libido. That same lust that you're trying to get rid of could be used as a super fuel for your spiritual progression, for your career, for your art, for your music, for your creative pursuits. That same energy that is working against you right now needs to learn how to be tamed. Imagine a tiger is running after you and you try to battle against the tiger. The tiger is gonna fucking rip you to shreds, bro. Absolute shreds, you got no chance. But what you do have a chance of is taming that tiger. And eventually, as you tame that tiger, riding that tiger. That tiger is an analogy for your compulsive nature, for your animalistic mind. You can't get rid of it, but you can learn how to control it. Dogmatic celibacy tries to get rid of your animalistic urges, which you cannot. That's why these people who are on the path of dogmatic celibacy become so meek, become so, they say humble, but in reality, they're cucks. In reality, they have lost the vigor and vitality that the true Aryan dharmic yogis embody. The divine masculine is not some like, oh, I'm so grateful to God, this and that. No. It's something powerful. It's not alpha male bullcrap, but it's true power, true contemplation, true still consciousness. And what do I mean by still consciousness? You see, the world that we are living in is in a state of, it is all feminine energy. It's chaotic. Pure chaos. You just see my dog run out of there. Pure chaos. That's the world. Feminine energy. And most people are either lacking the ability to appreciate the feminine energy. That's why you see these dogmatic views of celibacy and all that. God damn, what the fuck kind of car is that? Jesus. But that's why you see a lot of people, when it comes to the dogmatic views of celibacy, try to run away from the world, run away from the feminine, because they don't appreciate it. They believe it's all bad, evil, chaos is bad. It must be, everything is ordered. What the true dharmic path is about is appreciating the chaos, but not being consumed by it. A true divine masculine man can walk through the chaotic currents of life and not be consumed by it. He's still. He is completely still. He is unbothered. He is unfazed by any of these types of things, these compulsive habits. But whenever he wants to engage in something, it's through his own conscious decision. That's the divine masculine at its fullest potential. You see, the world is chaos. The world is a fire. If you try running in that fire without a fire suit on, just like these firefighters, you're gonna get burnt to crisps. And that burning effect is by you being a slave to your senses. You get burnt by your compulsive nature. But if you build up the mastery over the senses, self-mastery, you essentially create a spiritual source of armor to where you can walk through life unfazed, just like a firefighter can walk through the fire of that house unfazed. This is what self-mastery is about. This is what semen retention is about on the deeper dharmic levels. This is what we talk about here on this channel, on the main channel, The Philosopher. If you don't know about that main channel yet, my boy, you are missing out. Because the main channel is where we do all of our documentary style content, nice, clean cut and edited content. Over here on the second channel, The Philosopher Files, right here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these games. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? Straight up speaking off the dome. That's what we do over here. Because if you like unedited, unscripted kind of content, that's what we do here. Raw, unfiltered, unedited. But over on the main channel, The Philosopher, that's where we got the documentary style. So again, man, both sides got a lot of game, got a lot of sauce. Definitely would tune in and tap in if you have not already. So if you have not already, check out the link posted in the description box down below, because not only will you find a link to the main channel, aka The Philosopher, but you'll also find a link to my Instagram if you ever want to talk about these different types of topics, chop it up about these different types of concepts. My DMs are always open, so don't hesitate to shoot your boy a message. But again, all the stuff that we talk about on this channel, the main channel, The Philosopher, make sure you go run it up, my boy, description box down below. All the stuff that we talk about on the private Patreon community. Matter of fact, let's take a quick pause right here, right now. So I'm gonna give a big shout out to the motherfucking private Patreon community, man. And if I'm talking to a man right now who's truly on this path of self-mastery, who's really about this life, becoming a spiritual savage, of actually uncovering their true purpose beyond the brain and body, beyond what it is that society has told them, beyond just stimulating the senses, but they're not trying to be these quote-unquote dogmatic cucks. If I'm talking to you, motherfucker, yes, you, listen up, because most people probably clicked off this video, but the real savages are still here. And I need you right now to go find the closest mirror to you. I don't care if it's in your car window. I don't care if it's in your selfie camera of your phone. Find the closest mirror to you and take a good, hard look at that motherfucker. A good, hard look in that mirror. Take a nice mental picture. Let that mental picture marinate in your mind. Let it sink into your psyche. Get that click-clack Kodak moment. Come on now, man. I'll wait. I'll wait all day. Find that mirror and take a good, hard look. Really focus into it. Because I need you yes, you motherfucker, to realize that that man that's staring right into your eyes, that's staring right into your soul, when you look into that mirror, you're doing him, not me, a huge disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community if you're truly serious about this path of uncovering your divine motherfucking potential. Because look, man, if you're enjoying this type of content, you think this is some deep shit, you think I'm spitting facts, man, your mind is gonna be blown with what we cooking up over there, because we are truly uncovering the esoteric science of self-mastery over on the private Patreon community. I'm talking about exclusive videos that you ain't gonna find on this channel, on the main channel, matter of fact, anywhere else on the internet. Because it's some real deal game, real deal sauce for your motherfucking brain to help you elevate on every single plane. You dig what I'm saying? So not only do you get access to all those exclusive videos as a member of the private Patreon community, but also things like our full guides, our in-depth occult lectures, our digital library, and most importantly, the Philosopher's Circle private group chat where we host our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. Yes, so you heard me right. Bi-weekly mastermind live calls where you hop on a call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery. If you want to be surrounded with other spiritual savages, other people walking the dharmic path, other people climbing up the same mountain of self-mastery as you want to be with a brotherhood, a community that's going to hold you accountable, that wants to see you elevate and eventually wants to see you liberate, my boy, I am telling you, the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you, my guy. It's 100% guarantee. Because you've probably all heard the saying that you're the sum of the 5 people that you hang around most with. And that's a fact. So if you're hanging around other people that are stuck as slaves to their senses, stuck as slaves to the system, and you're trying to be that one motherfucker to break out of it, you're going to essentially and inevitably follow their path. But if you're surrounded by a community that is pushing you towards your higher purpose, because we all are within the Philosopher's Circle, within the inner circle community, then you have no choice but to also pick your shit up and actually walk this path of dissolving your karmas to discover your dharma. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher's Circle and the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the link posted in the pinned comment this video, not the description box. Again, description box is where you'll find the link to the main channel, aka the Philosopher, and my Instagram. I'm talking about the pinned comments. Scroll down in the comment section, you'll find the link right there. Click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can get access to the private Patreon community as well as see the other services that I provide, such as application forms for my personalized coaching program. If you're someone who's truly serious about this journey, about this path of detaching and detoxing from all these degenerate habits that are pulling you away from your divine potential, not because you're a sinner, but you are just forgetting. You're stuck in a state of spiritual amnesia of who you are truly beyond the brain and body and what it is you were really brought here to do. If you're ready to finally break free from that and take your life to the next level by dissolving your karmas to discover your dharma, aka discover your destiny, discover your duty, discover what it is that you were really brought here to be that will bring you the most fulfillment in life, that's what this coaching program is all about. Creating a systemized approach using the esoteric sciences of self-mastery to help you propel your consciousness to these higher potentials that you have been kept dormant and kept latent for far too long. So if you're interested in that and you're ready to really take your life to the next level, you're someone that's really about this, shoot me an application form and we'll see if your criteria meets the qualifications for the coaching program. But if you just want to call your boy on a one-time notice, just book a one-time consultation call with me, discuss anything that you're dealing with to help you get back on the right track. That's what we got the consultation calls for too as well, man. Again, all those links posted in the pinned comment of this video. Just click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and you can pick and choose which one of these services best suits you. But like I was saying, all this stuff that we talk about here on this channel, the main channel, The Philosopher, especially on the private Patreon community and especially within my personalized coaching program, is all about creating the tools, the pathway, the journey for you as a man to learn how to leverage all of your divine gifted capabilities, such as the body you were given, such as the brain you were given, towards building out the pathway, building out the bridge back to divine bliss. You're not meant to deny the body. You're meant to deify the body or divinate the body. You are not meant to deny the body. Let me say it again. You are meant to divinify the body. I don't even know if that's a word, but I made it a word. Put that in the dictionary, motherfucker. Divinify. You're not meant to deny, you're meant to divinify. Jesus Christ, come on now, man. You're meant to purify the body, not push it away. Dogmatic celibacy, religious views of celibacy, is all about cucking you into a mere slave, into a mere sinner to their system. It's the same thing as a matrix. But the path of dharmic celibacy is about reclaiming back your power. Not giving up your power because your power is sinful, but taking back your power because you have forgotten how fucking powerful you are. And all that power accumulates to the point for you to propel your consciousness back to the higher realms, feed your higher faculties with the same life force, because that life force will activate your higher chakras, your higher planes of consciousness. And those higher planes of consciousness, what resides within there is something that we call gnosis, knowledge of the divine that can only be found from within. And that knowledge of the divine that can only be found from within contains your dharma, contains your destiny, contains what it is that you were really brought here to do. Because each and every single one of us have a DNA encoded blueprint back to our true potential. I don't know your dharma, your dad don't know your dharma, your mom don't know your dharma, nobody knows your dharma but you. It's already encoded to your very essence. It's encoded to the core of your being. You just gotta clear out the karmas, clear out the attachments, clear out the aversions to get to that core essence once again and realize, oh damn, this is what I was always brought here to do. This is who I've always meant to be. Not what society tells me, not what this system tells me. That divine design of what your life is supposed to aspire towards is already within each and every single individual. You just have forgotten it. And these religions, these teachings will try to tell you what your dharma is, what your destiny is, because they want you conformed into one view, one mind, a hive mind, just like the military, just like sports fans. That shit is suffocating your soul's true essence, the uniqueness to you, and what's going to truly liberate you. Just like the degenerate side will promote you to, chase survival, sex, and status, the self-denying side of most of these dogmatic religions will promote you to deny survival, sex, and status. None of those things are going to bring true divine bliss. Denying or chasing after. Because when you chase after, you still need more cars, more clothes, more money, more hoes. And if you deny it, you're always going to be thinking about it. You're going to be mentally enslaved. The pathway beyond that is to figure out what it is that will bring your soul true fulfillment, true satisfaction. That's your destiny, that's your dharma, that's within these higher planes of consciousness. So again, anyone that says they know your destiny, that they know your dharma, that they know what you're brought here to do, they fucking lying to you. I will never come up on here and tell you that I know your dharma, because goddamn it, I don't. But what I damn sure know how to do is to dissolve your karmas. Because once you dissolve your karmas, you naturally discover your dharma. I always bring up this analogy. The dharma is like the sun. The sun is always out. Whether if it's shining or if it's behind all the clouds, the snow, the rain. When it's rainy outside doesn't mean that the sun is not out. When it's cloudy outside doesn't mean that the sun is not out. When it's snowing outside, it doesn't mean that the sun is not out. It just hidden behind the curtain of the clouds, of the rain, of the snow, just like your true self is hidden behind the curtain of karma. And again, karma is accumulated through attachment and aversion. The more that you're averse and repulsed by survival, sex, and status, and the more that you're attached to survival, sex, and status, the more that your consciousness is anchored into the lower planes. It's never thinking about anything beyond it. It's never transcending beyond it. And you must transcend beyond it in order to tap into those higher planes to see what your dharma is. Those karmas act as steel cables, steel cords that keeps your consciousness stuck, rooted in the lower planes. The path of self-mastery, again, all the stuff that we talk about here on this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community, within my personalized coaching program, the esoteric science of self-mastery is all about burning those cords. Celibacy is a pathway to burn those cords, not to create another cord. Dogmatic views of celibacy just create another cord. The dharmic view of celibacy burns them away. You see the difference? Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? This is some real deal game, real deal sauce for your motherfucking brain. Not many people are in this deep into this practice because not many people are really about this journey of mastering the self. Name another motherfucker that's breaking down these topics like a brick for y'all. And again, this ain't from me. I'm not out here making up these ideas. This has been said and done multiple times. There is a source of divine wisdom, divine knowledge that has been passed down to us by the true sages of these dharmic traditions. The true mystics, the true awakened men. A blueprint back to these states of divine bliss. Most people just never delve into it because they've been promoted about all these Abrahamic religions and these dogmatic views of the spiritual path. That's what's mainstream. That's what's being pushed upon us. The real ancient knowledge, the real ancient wisdom is all the way back in the past from the Aryans. My job for the time being, my destiny and dharma for the time being, is to help revive this ancient wisdom of the knowledge of the past and make it more applicable and practical for the modern day man to apply it into his life. Again, I'm not out here trying to recreate the wheel. What I've been breaking down has already been said and done. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 9. There's nothing new under the sun, my boy. It's just we have forgotten it. We have fell from grace. But the knowledge, the gnosis is already there waiting for us to reawaken back to it. So focus on the message, forget about the messenger. I'm just a conduit for the cosmos to bring this message back to the consciousness of the modern day man. And most people ain't about this life because that's why they clicked off. But if you made it this far into the video, bro, there is a reason behind it. It's not because of me. I know I look good. I know I'm entertaining. But you didn't watch 30 fucking, 5 minutes of a video just because I'm entertaining. No, because this message resonates with you. It's not because of the messenger. The message in itself resonates with you. And that's there for a reason. I always say this, the people that watch this channel in specific, aka the Philosopher Files, the second channel, where again, we're out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these games, no cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. You guys are more spiritually and more psychologically mature than the masses. Am I saying that you're a chosen one because you watch this channel? Absolutely not. This ain't no new age spiritual bullcrap. But what I am saying is you're in the 1 percentile of the population that's not suffering from brain rot, that can actually understand these deeper level concepts. Most people can't watch a video for this long, and you add on top of that the types of topics that we break down over here, oh man, that's going over most people's head. Their brain would fry. You have to realize that it's not because of you, because you're able to do that. Don't be prideful. Oh man, I'm so spiritually advanced. No, due to some type of circumstances, you have dissolved some of the karmas that allow your consciousness to resonate at a higher wavelength to be able to actually receive this information. Now it's your job to use this information on spiritual regeneration, because it's not enough to just get the knowledge. It's not enough to just get the knowledge. You must turn this knowledge into gnosis. Knowledge resides up in the mind, gnosis resides in the heart. There's only one way for you to transmit it, and that's through firsthand experience. So you can sit up here and be like, oh man, this guy makes a lot of fucking sense. But I'm too comfortable staying in these little zones of being a slave to my senses. I'm not willing to actually break free from the bondage that's keeping my brain and body a prison for my soul. I'm not willing to do that yet. What we call people that watch self-improvement videos after self-improvement videos, read self-help book after self-help book, yet never take action, we call them mental masturbators. Well, I'm talking to you. Yes, you motherfucker. You a spiritual masturbator if you're not actually taking action. Because you have been blessed by the divine to actually be able to grasp these concepts. You cannot waste this incarnation on spiritual degradation because you're too stuck in your comfort zone. You're too attached or you're too averse. You must master this self. You must walk upon this mountain by yourself. Because self-mastery is self-mastery. Of course, like I said, if you want to be around a community with like-minded men who are also walking up this mountain, that's what we got the Philosopher Circle for in the private Patreon community. But we're all walking up the same mountain, but we're all walking it solo dolo. I might be starting on this part of the mountain, you might be starting on that part of the mountain, you might take this path, you might take that path. At the end of the day, we're still walking up to the same pinnacle, the road to self-realization. And that is a process that can only be accessed from within. If you want the tools, that's what we got the tools for within, this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community, my personalized coaching program. But you must master the self, and you must use this incarnation for spiritual liberation rather than just being stuck in that little comfort zone. Dharmic celibacy is the path, not dogmatic views of celibacy that further diminish who you are and what you're really brought here to do. If you want to truly discover your dharma, discover your true potential, that's what this journey is about. Not by submitting since you're a slave. The true spiritual aspirant, the true spiritual savage, don't submit. The true spiritual savage purifies himself to become a divine vessel for God, not a fucking slave to some guy in the motherfucking sky. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference to this shit. And if you're about that life, man, you're about this journey, and you're still struggling, I totally understand. This ain't no easy path. But if you are struggling, you have not tapped into the Art of Retention ebook written by yours truly, then look, bro, you're missing out on the main channel, the Patreon, the personalized coaching program. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Tap into the Art of Retention ebook. It's a totally free ebook that goes in depth and in detail to everything you need to succeed on this path. If you have not tuned into it yet, man, go on the main channel right now, The Philosopher, again, description box down below. Matter of fact, just go on the YouTube search bar, just type in how to succeed on semen retention. Click search, you'll find the link to the full guide on the main channel. Click that, and then you can get up on all the game, all the sauce with the video guide. And within the video guide, you'll find a link to getting your free copy of the Art of Retention ebook, which goes even more in depth and more in detail than the actual guide in itself. This is a great introductory initiation to the path of dharmic celibacy, of dharmic semen retention. It isn't the whole motherfucking thing, but it's far more than what you need to get started. Far more. And look, man, if you got ADHD, you can't read, you fucking stupid, or whatever is going on within your mind, your boys got you covered with a full audio series of the Art of Retention ebook over on the main channel. Again, click the link posted in the description box down below. Go on the playlist section, and right there you'll find the audio series for you to pop it in while you're driving, while you're working, while you're doing whatever. Get up on some game. There is no excuse. And if you're looking to go even deeper for more guidance, for more support, for more high-level concepts of information, that's what we got the Philosopher's Circle for. That's what we got the personalized coaching program for. All that good stuff, again, posted in the pinned comment of this video. There is no excuse for you. If you made it this far into the video, that's there for a reason. You're about this life. You're about this journey, this road trip to self-realization. But the only way to get to that point is through mastering the self, which dharmic celibacy is a huge part of. Let that marinate in your mind. Let that sink into your psyche, my guy. No excuse. It's time to produce. What more else is to say? It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping you all that game so you guys can make these gains. I'm out of here. Peace.